getting this in play is just a bit more important. For today's video, we're going to be looking to have some fun, specifically with Funsmith. This is a deck that is going to be trying to take advantage of Sumpworkers and a number of units that have skills that deal damage so that Funsmith can amplify those skills. And I wanted to do this because it's been a very busy week for me. Unfortunately, the busyness is going to continue through the weekend. It's a holiday weekend here in the United States, and I was again swamped with my day job all through this week, so I'm doing my best to get videos out, but I know it's been interrupted this week. So if you're watching this, I appreciate you right out of the gate. Just wanted to let you know. I know I always say it at the end, but stick with me. Next week things should hopefully return to normal as far as content goes, but for this video, like I said, fun is what we're going to be focusing on. This is not a climbing deck. I don't think it's great in the current meta, but it's serviceable, and so we're going to have a good time. Now, as always, I like to say, hey, if you don't care about going through the deck list, then you can just jump ahead to the games. I use time tags. And if you want to take this deck for a spin, the deck code will be in the video description, as well a link to Mobalytics. But with that in mind, we're going to dive right in, and instead of going top down, I'm going to start by focusing on Funsmith. So this is a list where I was like, I want to take advantage of Funsmith because I think that it is an interesting card that doesn't necessarily get the love that it deserves. I really feel like you would actually see this thing as a meta play if it was a 1/4. If this was a 4-cost 1/4, because that health legitimately matters, and you could protect this on the backline, I think you would be seeing a bit more Funsmith. But for now, 3 is a bit brittle, and then as you're going to see, most of the units that we have in this list are not necessarily set up to be the best in the current meta. Keep an eye out. This is the kind of deck that I actually think, at least a version of this, maybe not this version, but a version of this deck could be really strong in a different meta. This deck actually kind of reminds me of Deep. Deep is one of those decks that is not great, not great, not great, amazing, and it all is meta dependent, right? So Funsmith is what we're focusing on. And then to pair with Funsmith, we are rocking Boomcrew Rookie because this is a skill, and so Funsmith amplifies the damage of this. We are rocking the new Sumpworkers because when they become a posse, this is a skill as well. This attack deal 1 to enemies in the Nexus. It's basically like a Nivea, right? So it goes on the stack, but that can be amplified as well. And you know what's interesting is that the Boomcrew actually properly has the little skill icon, and these just say attack, but this is absolutely a skill that goes on the stack. So do not let that fool you. That feels like a mistake, because Doombeast is another unit that we are playing because we want to amplify its skill. And as you can see, this is a skill that allows enemy reactions, and it's got this icon. So despite the typo, if you will, for the posse, those are our focuses. So the rest of the deck is mostly about trying to get those up and running in multiples. So we're rocking 3 copies of Fading Memories because this is great on Doombeast, and this is obviously a great way to get your Sumpworkers transformed or give you extras once they've been transformed. Depending on the deck, you're going to have to decide whether or not you want to prioritize flipping these, combining these. I don't know what the terminology should be, but we'll say combining or activating. Depending on the deck you're playing against, you might want to focus on this, or you might want to focus on Doombeast. Doombeast is great into other aggro decks because of the healing, and Doombeast can be great against things like Draven Ezreal. I think Draven Ezreal is just an awful matchup for this list anyway, but if you were to pull it out, it's because you get a bunch of Doombeasts and you pressure them that way. Now, against more traditional aggro decks, something like discard aggro, if you can get an early Sumpworker, like a round 3 combination, if you will, because that's the dream, then that's the way to go because you can suppress their go wide tactics. Now, I'll talk a bit about how you get that on round 3. So if you're attacking on odds, what you want to do is you want to try to get a hand where you've got Sumpworker and a hand where you have iterative improvement. So this is like Fading Memories, another card we're using to make copies of all of our skill generating units. What you do is you pass round 1, you develop your Sumpworker on 2, and then at the start of round 3, you iterative at burst speed and play the second one, which gives you a 5-3 posse, and then you're good to go. Now, again, you have to know the decks you're playing against, because there are ways that can be interrupted. Obviously, if they haven't spent mana and they're a Mystic Shot deck, then maybe, you know, playing this on round 2 with no backup plan is not that great of a way to go. So just keep it in mind, but that is actually something that you can do if you're attacking on odds and get that big swing in early. Now, other things that we are running to take advantage of our skill units, we've got Stalking Shadows to find multiples. This is great with Sumpworker, and it's great with Doombeast. Now, I will say, if you Stalking Shadows and you find Sumpworker, pay attention to your order of operations, because whichever unit was on the board first, that's the one that gets obliterated. So play your ephemeral one first and the real one second, so that the real one stays, just as a heads up. We're also rocking Unto Dusk to help with our Doombeasts, and just for additional damage and pressure, we're also rocking Stygian Onlooker, and this is a great secondary target for Unto Dusk, because you can reactivate the Fearsome and give it the +2/+0. So kind of keep that in mind as well. Glimpse, this is a bit shaky because we don't have a ton of bodies, but the draw is nice, and you will see that we're rocking 3 copies of Vile Feast, and so you can glimpse the spiders pretty well. The reason we're rocking Vile Feast is because it's another source of drain, and since we're playing Funsmith, Vile Feast is also a great way to drain for 2, and that, again, like a Doombeast, is very relevant. So Mystic Shot is here for Nexus damage and just getting rid of potential units. The one thing I will also note is that we're actually heavier on spells than units, so Stalking Shadows can whiff. If that's something that you're afraid of, you can trade Vile Feast out for just more units. You could trade out Mystic Shot even for more units, or you could trade out Glimpse, since we're a little unit light anyway. Keep that in mind for other ways that you can change things in the deck. Static Shock, this is a one of because it cycles and it works well with Funsmith, and it can bail you out in some circumstances, but this is also a flex spot. It's not necessarily core to the strategy in my mind. And then we're rocking 1 Teemo, mostly because I wanted something to do on round 1. A lot of folks will go kind of above and beyond to get rid of Teemo at times, so he eats removal that they might have for your Sumpworkers, for example. And there's just not many other units in the game that are as good at drawing fire, if you will, than Teemo. Now, if you don't like Teemo, Elise is actually another great choice in this list, because again, we don't have a ton of units, and so the fact that she just gives you a spider, yes, you don't get to keep it very often, but it's just another body. It's another thing you can maybe glimpse. You can blow it up while you're in the attack round potentially. So I like Teemo because, like I said, he draws fire, he eats removal, and he's a round 1 play, but he's really just an upgraded Daring Poro in this deck. So anyway, this is the list. Like I said earlier, deck code will be in the video description. Link to Mobalytics will be in the video description. And we're going to go play this on the ladder. I do not think this is very good in the current meta, and we'll see how it goes. Well, we're going to be queuing into Azir Aurelia right out of the gate here. We have a Sumpworker though, and we have a Stalking Shadows, so we're gonna go ahead and hold on to it. We also found an iterative, so we can go right into early Sumpworker plays potentially. The downside is that you usually want to be attacking on odds. When you have this start, you can play this on 2. You bank 1 spell mana on 1, you play this on 2, you do this into the round 3 swing. That's obviously a lot less effective here. We could play it as a potential blocker. We could just bank more spell mana. I think we're actually just gonna pass here because we still have the Vile Feasts as far as spell mana goes. And I wanted to wait and see. You know, we could have taken a Vile Feast on one of those with only 1 mana left because it would have required them to have something along the lines of a shaped stone. We're gonna wait and see if they go with the duet here. So once that's on the stack, there it be. We're just gonna go ahead and do this. And the reason we waited was because, again, we want to make sure we kill the Irelia. And we'll take this block, but save the other one for now. And we have to bank the spell mana so that we can play this, play the iterative, and play the second one this next round. And then hopefully that will be enough to push us through. I say hopefully because at 4 here, if they pass, then we know Homecoming is a potential answer.
All in the shoulders.
Now, theoretically, we could try to block this, but we're a bit worried about something like shaped stone. And that would absolutely devastate us. So I think that getting this in play is just a bit more important. They're going to be able to block this with the droplet to prevent a good chunk of damage. But because this has the Anivia-like effect, we should still clean up a fair amount of this. And they actually played the sparring student right into it. So I don't know if they are used to running into this or not, but we'll happily take that exchange. Now they've got lots of potential, you know, answers here with their mana, etc., etc. I think for us, the static shock makes the most sense, but we could also just take the damage, I guess. This is their attack token, so outside of Blade Dance effects, this is really all they're doing for the round. Again, we don't want to risk with the block there. I actually think we're just going to let it through. We're only taking 3 there, and we can do this into a Doombeast. We're gonna wait and play these next round just as insurance, because again, they could have like a homecoming or something. The fact that they are banking their spell mana says a lot. But now we can also go posses and still have enough for a mystic shot. So there's the homecoming. We can attempt this. They could have a second homecoming. They could have a Nopify. Yep, there's the Nopify. So that's fine. We'll just replay. So it's not got the buff, right? It's done in that regard, but we can ship our damage. Again, if they want to, they can block some damage with that. And so they can droplet into this duet. Now we don't have to worry about something like a shaped stone here because of the lack of mana, so this is a bit safer, just to again keep our health total afloat. This time around, I was gonna say, unless we top deck a Doombeast where we're going for another drain, I think we make sure no matter what we do that we have enough mana for the static shock. And so I think we just play this as a potential blocker and sit on this. The other option was Stalking Shadows and then like maybe you find Doombeast, but we could only play one anyway. I think you take the attempted static shock now, because if you can catch this before it starts to grow, it's a pretty big deal. And with only 2 cards left,
When rhythm takes hold, there is no time for fear.
so here they still have their normal attack token, but they're out of mana. So you just do this. You save the Doombeast for a block on this should they choose to send it. And I expect them to. But again, no mana, so this is a safe block here. And the reason I expect them to send it is it's just more damage on us. Oh, they didn't. Well. There's a lot of greedy things that we could do right now, but just swinging with everything makes the most sense. And we get a victory against Azir Irelia. That's a great way to start this video off. Well, let's see if we can repeat the magic here. Let's see if we can get another victory. I think we're going to keep the Shadows, the Sumpworker, throw the Doombeasts back for now. We're attacking on evens. Seems to be my bane. I mean, we don't have the iterative this time, but we'll probably top deck it before we get there because that's just my luck. But that does in fact seem to be my bane. It's being stuck on evens. And I think this is a list that probably prefers odds, but in this instance, I actually think we want to just go Boomcrew. We don't have any way to follow this up quite yet. They've double sparring student.
Spin it round, throw it down.
And we just have sadness is what we have. I think what we want to do here is take a rip on the shadows. I mean, I guess Onlooker is what we end up with. Can play them defensively, I suppose. And they go with the lead follow, but they won't be able to play the duet, so it's just about saving that unit. And I think here we're just gonna go ahead and play the Funsmith and decide on whether or not we want to send this Boomcrew to its death. I think the answer is no. Those sparring students are so problematic right now.
When rhythm takes hold, there is no time for fear.
Even with the Funsmith, we can't deal with the students very effectively. So we're gonna end up just doing this, seeing if we can find some Doombeasts. It's just more Stygian onlookers, apparently. Apparently that's just what we find with our stalking shadows.
Sway.
That's always been there.
Not gonna outgun me.
It wasn't
Whoops.
me.
So if we do this, we're down to 6. down to 8, and they're left with the double sparring students. I think this is our best bet. Again, they've got 3 mana though, so shaped stone causing some problems. Ironically, I think that was a misplay. I think we probably should have just done sparring student twice. I think that's the sad reality.
The Yordle here's with me.
Down to 1 card left in their hand though. And it's a shaped stone. So we've got them top decking at least. Still haven't found a Doombeast for us though. Uh-oh. Well, Sumpworker's got to come down as a blocker now. There's no way around it. So we have Teemo block, that block, that block. Has us going down to 3, but we can also glimpse this and maybe find a Doombeast to get us rolling. And so that's what we're gonna do. Just trying to stay alive. I think we're gonna bank the spell mana here. Okay, so this is a bit of a tough call. We really want to glimpse that to find a Doombeast, but if they have a Blade Dance there and we don't put units down, we're just dead, I think. I suppose because they don't have a Deus or anything, Blade Dance isn't actually problematic because they don't have the attack token. Funsmith, not a Doombeast. So they find a Marshall. We find the Doombeast. Okay. The Doombeast is a pretty big deal for us. Yeah, let's play this one because we can go on offense. We still have Fading Memories for the easy trigger this next time around. But we want to play this because we want the drain here. Yes, we have the Funsmith, but I don't think we can afford to play the Funsmith first. I think we need this drain to even it out. Oh, that's right. Marshall. So I think we do this. There's no cards left in their hand, so after this, we can Funsmith. And start the machine gun as early as next round. I mean, we can start it now because we're gonna draw this card and drain for 3 more, but just do this. And that is game. Doombeast comes down, and we're gonna go ahead and do it again. So that's twice We beat Azir Aurelia with this. I mean, I was just having fun at the bottom of Diamond, you know, playing fun decks like I've been doing. Not expecting to beat Azir Aurelia once, but twice. But that's the way we are. That's the way we're going to end it, I guess. So if you made it this far, I appreciate you as always. Thank you for watching. I just wanted to goof off with a neat concept that I know other people have done it, but I just haven't played it myself. And so I wanted to give it a whirl. I will say that at some point here, I got to get serious again. I put it off at the start of the season, and then we plowed through Plat. Here soon, I think I need to do the same thing for Diamond, just so that I have Hitmaster as we get it out of the way. I might be doing that actually this Memorial Day. So Memorial Day I have off. It's a holiday. I didn't get to celebrate my birthday for real, like on my birthday, and I didn't get to stream on my birthday. So if you're one of the folks who watches my content here, but you also watch me live on Twitch, I will be, I think, streaming a good chunk of Memorial Day. Now, I'll tell you up front, it's probably going to be a relatively boring stream in terms of deck choices, because I'll likely be trying to push as far up Diamond as I can so that I can, you know, maybe crack Masters, and then we'll go back to playing memes. But if you want to hang out, if you want to say hello, then you can likely swing by on Memorial Day and it'll be a good time. But that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and until next time, may you walk on warm sands.